Hey guys, I'm Grestar, and how about we watch a death battle? Black Widow versus Widowmaker. Of course, make sure to click on the link in the description below to go to the official release first. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Watch that there, then come back here and we'll watch it together. So yes, Black Widow from Marvel versus Widowmaker from Overwatch. Now as some of you pointed out last time, and this wasn't intentional, but I was indeed wearing my Overwatch jacket. This kind of is just the only jacket that I have available at the house right now. So that's why I wear it whenever I'm cold. But it's true, I am wearing an Overwatch jacket, so I am familiar with the game. Not the best, or the most knowledgeable, but I like it. In fact, Widowmaker is one of those characters where if I could be really good, I would like to be really good with her, you know? I tend to enjoy sniping characters, but I'm not good at sniping, so that figures, right? But I think that she's a really cool character, really fun to play when you're doing really well. Can definitely be helpful for the team, that sort of thing. But aside from the gameplay itself in Overwatch, the only things I've seen Widowmaker in are, I think, 3 cinematics. I believe it was the very first one that Overwatch made, it had like Widowmaker, Tracer, Winston, and Reaper, you know, before everything was finalized. So Tracer and Widow, for instance, don't look as good as they do now. There was Widowmakers, or was it Tracers? It was either Widowmakers or Tracers video, I guess both. I forget what it's called. I forget what all of them are called. And then Sombra's cinematic. Those are the 3 cinematics that I remember seeing Widowmaker in, to some extent at least. And so, you know, you get a little bit more about her capabilities, particularly in the one against Tracer, I believe. But not a ton still, not a ton. And then I know that there are Overwatch comics, but I haven't read any of those. So if she pulled off amazing feats there, I don't know about them. Black Widow is a similar case for me, where I've seen her in the Marvel movies, but that's it. I have not seen Black Widow anywhere else. I have not read comics involving her or anything like that, so very much at a loss as far as what she can do. However, that being said, if I had to give some sort of prediction before watching any of the actual analyses, I would have to say that I'm leaning in favor of Black Widow coming out as the victor. I mean, like, Widowmaker goes up against characters that are sometimes godlike, right? But Black Widow goes up against characters who are actually gods. You know what I mean? Like, even if she herself is not the most powerful, I think that she could definitely rival a lot of what I know of Widowmaker. And Black Widow she's gone up against people that, how do you go up against them and survive? You know what I mean? I basically think that if the fight can be kept at long range, that Widowmaker has this, but I think that more realistically, Black Widow would be able to close that gap safely and then take Widowmaker out like more hand to hand, you know, or within short range. I just don't think that Widowmaker has the means of getting away from fights too easily. Her sniper rifle turns into an automatic weapon, but it's pretty weak, and the only way that she really has to get away, I mean, she also has her Venom Mine, which will help her, you know, deal some damage to the opponent and track them if they were to trigger it. But, the only way the Widowmaker can really get away from a close engagement is by using her grappling hook, which in the game has a reduced cooldown at this point in time. But still, like, that gives you a jump, but, you know, like, clear some distance. But it's not huge, and if the Widowmaker then misses her shot, like, the opponent has time to go in and, like, clear the gap again, and then she still has her grapple, you know, like, waiting to, you know, be cooled down, so I think Black Widow's gonna win is the thing. But I won't say anything for sure until we watch this video, so with that, let's get to watching. And play.
Today we've got data on basically everything we want to learn about, and with 23andMe, this includes your own DNA. With over 125 genetic reports, 23andMe can give you insight about your health, traits, ancestry, and
you
so
could
much
learn
more.
so
Have
much,
you been running
guys.
late in the morning because you're accidentally sleeping in? Guess what? It might have something to do with your genes. No kidding. I've tried it myself, and it's really easy to mail in your sample in just a few steps. To see what your genes have to say about your health, traits, and more, buy your health and ancestry service kit today at 23andme.com.
Y'all could do that. If you were curious, you could support Death Battle, and you could learn about your ancestry.
23andme.com/death battle.
Alright, here we go now. Rooster Teeth. Bam! Alright, it's Black Widow versus Widowmaker.
Some people
Go.
are born to be heroes or villains, but many are thrust upon these roles with very little regard, and must simply make the
Widowmaker
best
didn't
of
ask
their
for it.
new, stressful life.
Like
And I don't think Black
Widow,
Widow did.
the covert enemy turned ally of the Avengers.
And Widowmaker, the deadly but unwitting adversary of Overwatch.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Cool. I mean, I honestly would prefer Widowmaker winning. I just don't think she
more
will.
commonly known as the
But we'll
anglicized
see if
Natasha
I learn anything
Romanoff,
else.
is one of the more curious members of the legendary Avengers.
Yeah, unlike most of them, she doesn't have any ridiculous superpowers. And she even started out as a bad guy.
Like many secret agents, Natasha's past is a mystery. One account claims she was raised by a soldier named Ivan Petrovich, who taught her the art of combat. His teachings were so affluent that Natasha was kidnapped by an order of assassins known as the Hand, intending to train her as their master assassin.
Luckily, Wolverine and Captain Boy Scout rescued her, but she eventually put her talents to use, working for the KGB and becoming a famous ballerina.
However, the most likely story was that Petrovich admitted a young Natasha to a secret Soviet program called the Black Widow Ops. There, in the infamous Red Room, Natasha was trained to be the deadliest spy in the world.
She learned all sorts of stealth, assassination, and martial arts techniques, including the newly invented Sambo style, which is basically like street fighting judo mixed with the craziest grappling moves ever. Like, how does she even do that? Russian's magic.
She learned dozens of other martial arts, including karate, Muay Thai, Aikido, and Kung Fu.
And she's mastered all sorts of weaponry, becoming an expert marksman.
Oh.
Damn, sign me up for
So
the
she has long range
spider
too. Like,
Don't get the wrong idea. The Red Room was brutal. Natasha was brainwashed, literally programmed with false memories, which included her days as a ballerina.
Don't get it wrong.
She was even forced
Did you think
to
I didn't
other
think the Red Room
members
was
to
brutal?
death. Crazy to think about considering how much went into each one's training, but all the more to transform her into the ultimate stone cold.
because you know, I thought the Red Room was brutal.
codenamed Black Widow.
Yeah, sometimes that's what you gotta do if you wanna be a winner. When I was a kid, Mama Boomstick trained me and some friends to eat over 60 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
Whoa!
I was the only one who survived.
Oh no.
That's wow.
You should see it coming out.
No.
Well, while
should
Natasha
not.
was plenty deadly on her own, she got one more gift from the Red Room.
A super soldier serum. Because at the time, everyone and their
did?
dog was trying to make the next Captain America. But she wound up with the knockoff dollar store version. Because the Nazis decided to kill the only person in the world who knew how to make it. Seriously, what was this guy thinking?
Even still, she received some impressive benefits, including a beyond Olympic level physique, inhuman resistance to poison and disease, and slowed aging.
So she
Okay.
gets to keep her good looks for over a century.
And run up to 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's pretty good too.
As
Cool.
the Black Widow, Natasha quickly proved her dominance over her peers, soon becoming the KGB's top operative. Taking on the most perilous of missions, it wasn't long until she found herself face to face with an adversary who proved her match. Iron Man.
Hey, when it takes a super suit with enough munition to wipe out a whole city to stop you, you know you're pretty good at
Iron
what
Man
you
is
do.
pretty
To
cool.
destroy Iron Man and his team of Avengers, Black Widow recruited Hawkeye and attempted to sway him to the dark side. But to her surprise, the exact opposite happened.
Oh.
Yeah, it turns out Hawkeye is so goddamn handsome that he literally love-struck the brainwashing out of her.
And so, Black
Oh.
Widow betrayed her country and became an ally of the Avengers. And while keeping up with the likes of Iron Man and Thor is no easy feat, she held her own not just with her amazing talents, but also her plethora of gear and gadgets.
Where does she keep them all in that bodysuit? It's like super tight. I mean, not that I'm complaining or anything, but the logistics are baffling.
Well,
That's
not
fair.
only is her suit composed of an abnormally durable Kevlar, she has several gadgets hidden within her gauntlets. The Widow's line is a retractable grappling hook that lets her swing like Spider-Man.
Okay.
Cartridges of tear gas pellets and explosives serve obvious purposes. And then there's the Widow's Bite.
What, like a spider bite? And how's that supposed to... Wow,
What were you saying?
that was pretty shocking, Wiz. You broke your glasses, idiot. I didn't see this coming.
Even without the KGB, Black Widow remains one of the top assassins in the world. She's so skilled with a sniper rifle, she could cut Hawkeye's bowstring while he's in mid-shot,
Wow.
forcing him to miss his target.
Well,
To
yeah.
put this in perspective, the average thickness of compound bowstring is about 1/100th of an inch thick. That's as thin as a fingernail. And she made this shot from hundreds of feet away.
She's quick enough to easily dodge point-blank gunfire, skilled enough to defeat 100 men by herself, and strong enough to snap a guy's neck with just one kick.
pretty impressive, as it takes around 600 pounds of force to break the human neck.
See, I feel like Widowmaker has to have
So
stuff from the
goddamn tough.
comics.
She's taking a
'Cause
grenade
otherwise,
to the
like,
face
how
from
does-
a few feet away, and she was fine. She fell 4 stories, through a mounted sign into a car, and she was fine. So much for that super serum being dollar store junk, right?
Well, this durability extends beyond physical toughness.
Once lifted and
After
wielded
all,
Mjolnir,
she doesn't
wow.
exactly have bulletproof skin or anything like that. Rather, she possesses a staggeringly strong drive to survive, no matter what.
Yeah, like the time when she had to go through intensive surgery while she was still conscious.
Oh,
Just imagine. She
No.
felt every cut.
I don't
every
want to.
pull, every
I would
movement
rather
as
not,
the
thank
surgeon
you.
Sliced open her stomach and sewed up her insides.
wow.
Despite the incredible pain throughout this entire ordeal, which likely lasted several hours, for her own sake, she could not move a muscle.
I think I'm gonna throw up. Oh, that reminds me of my vasectomy. Both of them.
But even alongside the Avengers, Natasha maintains a gray sense of morality. Her path to redemption has been a rocky one, as her personal quest to destroy the Red Room has left a trail of bodies in its wake.
This is one redhead you don't want to mess with.
That's true, though. Alright, time for
While the
Widowmaker.
stories
Good
of
luck.
many world-class assassins often carry a truckload of baggage, few are quite as heartbreaking as the case of Amélie Lacroix.
I know, it's
It's even
sad.
more true than you think, but we'll get there.
Growing up, Amélie never aspired or trained for combat. In fact, she devoted much of her life to becoming a world-renowned ballerina in Paris, France.
You know, I've noticed it's almost a requirement for all badass assassins to be ballerinas or something. So, I started working on a few moves myself.
Have you?
Wait, hold on!
Doc,
Amelie's husband, however, was a key figure for Overwatch, a global peacekeeping organization spearheading operations against a terrorist group called Talon.
Talon tried over and over to kill this guy, but they just couldn't pull it off. So instead, they kidnapped Amelie. Damn, not cool.
Thankfully, Overwatch quickly rescued her, and life returned to normal.
Or did it?
No.
Nope. Because out of nowhere, Amelie killed her hubby in his sleep.
Turns out, the kidnapping wasn't just a simple ransom or attempted lure. Talon ruthlessly subjected Amelie to intense neurological reconditioning, molding her into the perfect brainwashed sleeper agent.
Right, because she was sleeping next to him in their bed, and then bam! First kill!
One way to think of it.
Sleeper agent.
Right, sure. She returned to Talon to complete their psychological and physiological reconfiguration process. When all was said and done, Amélie Lacroix was no more. In her place stood the cold-hearted assassin known as Widowmaker.
Ah, I get why she's called Widowmaker.
Yes.
Though it is kind of weird that the widow she was making was her.
Brilliant deduction, Boopstick. Widowmaker embodies the cold-hearted killer trope so well, it's actually literal. Talon's experiment slowed her heart rate and suppressed her emotions, turning her into an actual cold-blooded killing machine.
That's why
Hence
she's blue.
the cold blue skin.
Oh, yeah.
That's not really a thing, is it? Turning your skin blue like that? Oh, I just figured she was the girl Smurf all grown up. Gotta be some trauma.
There's actually a pretty
Tragic
easy way
life.
to turn your skin blue. You just need to drink some colloidal silver.
Is it safe?
No.
Oh, yeah, sure, no doubt. It's 100% non-toxic silver.
Okay, bottoms up.
Why are you like
Anyway,
this, Wiz?
The blue makeover wasn't just for show. With her heart rate down, her body's movements and vibrations are highly reduced.
The blood pulsing through your hands can actually bump up your shot. It's not by a lot, but when you're aiming at something 1,000 yards away, even a tiny bit of movement matters.
Right.
This might not sound too difficult until you consider that a typical human heart rate in a stressful situation can exceed 100 beats per minute. A perfect sniper has to time their shots between almost 2 beats per second.
So even though she started pretty late, Widowmaker skipped years of killing people school with just this one little tweak.
Talon's manifesto is that humanity is made stronger through conflict. And so Widowmaker was taught a variety of different combat and covert techniques to be ready for any violent possibilities.
She's ridiculously athletic. Just look at her go. And she's got plenty of handy tools to help her kill people even faster.
Except, of
She
course, like,
carries
no
a
one really
grappling hook
dies
with
in
a
the cinematics.
65-foot cable,
It's family
perfect for
friendly.
getting around any terrain in an instant. Her venom mines stick to most surfaces, and after being triggered by movement, release a deadly toxin.
And give her a ping in her funny-looking spider helmet.
That's Widowmaker's recon visor.
Yeah.
Basically multi-screen
Infrasights.
super goggles. They provide infrared sight that spots heat signatures through walls and transmits multiple feeds.
Then there's her signature weapon, the one, the only Widow's Kiss. It may look like an oversized SMG, but with a click of a button, it turns into a badass sniper rifle.
Which is
As a
basically
sniper,
the only
this
thing you
baby
want
can
to
fire at 4
use.
different levels of power. A fully charged shot hits 10 times stronger than a standard one, making the Widow's Kiss one of the deadliest rifles in the world. Unless you're wearing some really heavy armor, it'll kill pretty much anyone with just one shot. Whiz, build me one now.
Yeah, with your luck, your hand will probably get stuck in one of the moving parts, and I'll have to be the one to amputate it and build you a mechanical replacement. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
You don't know that. Stupid Whiz.
Widowmaker is one of Talon's top agents and has the feats to prove it. She's taken on Overwatch members multiple times, effortlessly defeating some of their own top agents, like fellow sniper Anna Amari, whose cybernetic eye can see 6 times greater than a normal one. And she pulls this off while achieving ulterior goals, such as when she baited Tracer into unknowingly allowing her to assassinate a diplomat.
And that was like a really
That's
cool
some
moment.
intense on-the-fly multitasking.
And she's way tougher than she looks. Her visor can protect her from a sniper shot to the face, and she even took a hit from Doomfist's gauntlet. This thing can take down a skyscraper. But she was fine.
But it was from
While
the
it
kid.
wasn't wielded
Like,
by Doomfist himself at
Yeah.
the time, it clearly struck with some serious power. An average skyscraper ranges between 250 to 300 feet tall. To topple it in one go, you'd need a force equivalent to at least 2 tons of TNT.
You sure Talon didn't slip her some super serum in a drink or anything? Cause that's ridiculous.
Also, while ranged combat may be her forte, Widowmaker is skilled enough to take out an entire armed security force up close while avoiding their gunfire.
they were
The
dumb.
blue bombshell
Let's be
can
real
do it
here.
all. Kinda sucks.
Let's be
Talon's
real, they
trainer of
were
all
dumb.
emotion, 'cause
I love
now
that
she can
cinematic,
appreciate
though.
How badass she
I do.
is. Kinda like how I sometimes forget I have a shotgun for a leg until it.
God, I hate it when that happens.
But it's just like
Talon's
Tracer and Widowmaker,
experiments may
awesome
have
there.
yielded
All the guards,
astounding results,
stupid.
but I'm not sure they were quite so thorough. In fact, every Christmas, a certain blue-skinned woman can be found leaving a rose at her late husband's grave. So maybe,
She
just
definitely
maybe,
still feels.
Amelie isn't quite gone for good.
Yeah.
A single
You can get
death
that in a lot of, like,
change
voice lines for her, too.
everything.
Okay, cool.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
All of
first?
them. And commercial, skipping.
It's
Time for a death battle and pause. I was not looking at my phone. I was paying attention to the commercial. So, this death battle, prediction time. I still think Black Widow's gonna win. I think that, yeah, Widowmaker is more impressive than I thought. Specifically when you break down her surviving that blast from Doomfist Gauntlet. Not Doomfist, but Doomfist Gauntlet. And how much, like, the skyscraper thing, the 2 tons of TNT or whatever, that whole thing. Being able to survive a sniper shot to the face with the visor, specifically with the visor, like the visor is the thing that protects her, that kind of thing. And I really do think that, like, again, her situational awareness and her cleverness and everything with, like, shooting, I forget what his name was, but the Omnic through Tracer, basically, like, that was awesome. I still love that moment. But all in all, I feel like Black Widow still has the advantage, you know? A lot of the things that we're going for Widowmaker, like, Black Widow also has, and then some, you know? Like, my big thing at the beginning was, okay, if they can maintain, like, a long-range battle, then Widowmaker will win, because I only knew of Black Widow as having, like, close-range stuff, or at least middle, you know, medium range. But, no, Black Widow is apparently an awesome sniper too. You know, capable of shooting something from like 3 miles away that's like the width of your fingernail, apparently. So, like that kind of thing. And so I just don't think that Widowmaker has the advantage even there. Sure, Widowmaker has the whole like heartbeat being slow so her shots are more accurate, but Black Widow, does she need that? If she's already making those incredible shots, then clearly she's been able to like overcome that struggle. So just as far as like strength, durability, flexibility, both physically and mentally, like in terms of thinking quickly on your feet kind of thing, I just feel like Black Widow is superior. I know that this is a pretty short prediction, but I think Black Widow's going to win, so play. If I'm wrong, I look forward to seeing the conclusion as to why I was wrong, but it just seems like Black Widow, again, like, has what Widowmaker has, and then some. So, I mean, like, Black Widow has a lot more gadgets too, just so much more versatility. So many more different, like, styles of combat, like close range fighting, you know? They both have grappling hooks, so like Widowmaker can't use that to get away really, because Natasha could just give chase.
Je te vois.
Who was the other person?
Got you.
Oh. Poor bird.
It's finished.
You didn't hit her. Confirm your kills, Widowmaker. Neither of those were like doing anything at that range. I know I'm thinking a lot about like damage fall off in games and stuff, but
Trying to escape me. No chance.
you can do it. Catch up. Murder them. All this needless destruction. I mean, maybe not needless, but like that Ferris wheel didn't ask for any of that.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
How'd she get there?
What makes you think
Quick,
you could
recall.
sneak up on me? I'm a goddamn Avenger.
That much is true. Well, that was a nice shot. I liked that glass bit. Some of those moves are just so slow. No!
I can't survive anything. Nice theory. Let's test it.
Ooh, yeah, no, she's not surviving that one.
Do svidania.
Okay, so, there was the fight.
Damn! Which one was the cold-hearted chick again?
Given her history, Natasha obviously brought a lot more combat experience to the battle than Widowmaker.
Yes.
Even still, this was far from one-sided. Widowmaker's arsenal in particular made it difficult for Natasha to outgun her in ranged combat, except for the Venom Mine, given her enhanced immune system.
But once Widowmaker was disarmed, something which seems to happen a lot, Natasha got the upper hand. Like, literally. She's way better at hand-to-hand. That's a no-brainer just based on how many martial arts she knows,
Yeah.
her super serum boost, and how many people she's had to
Yeah.
judo to death.
They both could dodge bullets and were expert shots, but Widowmaker has never shown capabilities equal to Natasha breaking a neck in one strike, running 35 miles per hour, or shooting a moving bowstring.
They were pretty evenly matched when it came to taking hits, though. Natasha took a grenade to the face, while Widowmaker got hit by Doomfist's gauntlet.
Yes, but while the gauntlet can take down a skyscraper, even in Doomfist's own hands, it certainly doesn't seem capable of doing so with only one hit. Much less in the hands of a skinny teenager.
Hell, Doomfist escaped prison by punching
I like
through
that
a
team, though.
concrete wall with his bare fists. I don't think Hoodie Kid's gonna pull that off.
No.
Just a hunch.
Widowmaker
I didn't know that
certainly
about
had
him.
her
Hey,
moments
look at
where
that.
She just couldn't match Natasha's greater speed, precision, and decades of experience.
She just couldn't find that widow of opportunity.
The winner is Black Widow.
Claps for Black Widow.
Hey,
All
thanks
right.
for watching this episode of Death
No
Battle. If
problem.
you want the battle music for yourself, you can get it by clicking the link below.
Or you can click over there and check out one of those other videos.
Oh, there's nothing because it's on my video. Next time on Death Battle. Oh, it's Captain Marvel. And Shazam? No, is this Shazam? No, it is Shazam. Okay, yeah. Do they call him the Captain? I didn't know that. I didn't know they called him the Captain. All right, so let's talk about this Death Battle then. So I was right. I'm glad. They said it was like, it definitely wasn't one-sided. I still feel like it was kind of one-sided, you know? I thought from the beginning that Black Widow was going to win, and while she did seem more impressive after, you know, her analysis portion, I still thought Widowmaker was going to lose. When I said she more impressive, I meant Widowmaker, just to clarify. You know, so just like, from the beginning, after watching, like, the analyses portions, and then while watching the fight, like, I still thought that Black Widow was going to win. There was nothing really that surprised me there. So, I don't know. I can't say that I necessarily disagree with some of the feats that they talked about, like Widowmaker surviving the hit from Doomfist's Gauntlet, that sort of thing. But just, all in all, Black Widow just has so many advantages over Widowmaker from what I was able to understand, from what I know. And I guess that, like, I'm also, like I said during the fight, I was also thinking about how just, you know, in playing Overwatch, using her SMG as an SMG or whatever, you know, instead of the sniper rifle form, like, that just kind of sucks. You just you don't really do that, at least not in my experience. You just don't do that, you know? You use your grapple to get away, and then you hit him with a headshot kind of thing, like with your sniper form. So, I don't know. And then from a distance, too, I assume as an automatic weapon, it has damage fall off in Overwatch. I guess I don't know. I know it doesn't as a sniper rifle, because long range. But anyway, I just wasn't too worried about that, like, during the animation itself, which I know the animation, again, is for entertainment purposes, so it doesn't really play into that. But I just wasn't convinced that Widowmaker was going to win. In fact, I thought that she handled the hand-to-hand combat a lot better than I feel she necessarily should have. I know she's taken down people in hand-to-hand situations before, like in the comics or cinematics, but again, like, those guards are dumb. They suck. That kind of thing. And I think part of it is that because Blizzard, you know, tries to make the cinematics, like, family-friendly, no one ever really dies. You know, they die if they're an Omnic, if they're a robot, and that's it, basically, you know? And so maybe Widowmaker has killed people, or is more capable of killing people than they've shown in the cinematics, but they don't show it in the cinematics so they can remain friendly. I don't know, but it just doesn't seem like Widowmaker has a ton going for her, even now, even after having watched that. So, yeah, wasn't surprised. I'm happy that I got it right, but just, you know, not a surprise to me. So, about the animation itself, I don't know, honestly. Like, it seemed a little lackluster. Like, I would say it was fine, but I wanted it to be better than fine, you know what I mean? There were just a few moments that I thought were particularly cool, and then the rest of it was kind of like, okay, sure, you know, like, whatever. Like, again, the glass falling, and you seeing Natasha's reflection briefly, I thought that was really cool. Honestly, it did get better for me once they got into the hand-to-hand portion. The long-range stuff, I don't know. I feel like they could pull off long-range combat. I just feel like it didn't work too well here. A lot of the stuff, I feel like it was supposed to be fast-paced, but there was like a lag to it almost. I mean, again, you could look at the hand-to-hand portion, and like, I think Widowmaker was going for a kick, and it was just so slow. It's like, how are you getting any force behind that? How is that supposed to be a powerful hit? Just a lot of the stuff didn't really seem to land for me. I mean, throughout the entire animation, there wasn't as much impact as I thought that, like, shots or hits should have had. The location, I thought, was a little odd. I mean, it makes sense for them to have, you know, like, Widowmaker starting off on the rooftops, and I guess, like, it makes sense to have Natasha starting off on her bike on the street. But that also kind of skewed the sniping portion a little bit, because, like, the high ground has the advantage, and so, I don't know. again, like, it's fine, it makes sense, but it's just like, even when they had kind of the matched bit of the combat, you know, the sniper versus sniper, like, Widowmaker had the advantage and still wasn't able to make much use of it. The infra sights didn't really help her. And the Ferris wheel inclusion, it was one of those things where it could have been cool. It wasn't really pulled off, in my opinion, in a manner that justified it or that really made it cool. Yeah. So, all in all, I'd say the animation was fine, but it wasn't anything more than that to me. I feel like it could have been better. Even if you didn't change too much, even if you just, you know, fiddled with the sound design a little bit to make things more impactful, or if you just made some of the motions, like the action, a little more fluid and fast-paced, I think that could have helped, that sort of thing. So not entirely my cup of tea, but it was entertaining enough. It's kind of one of those things where I feel like, even though I was excited to have Widowmaker be, you know, in Death Battle, I feel like it was a little too early to have her in the Death Battle. Because Overwatch is just still so new. I don't know how new. Like, 2 years, 3 years? It's not, it's like, it's a new game still, I feel. And again, like, I had only seen Widowmaker in 3 cinematics that I could recall, and then obviously she's had some time in the comics, but not a whole lot of time to really establish a lot of feats. I feel like most of the feats that they... Okay, I guess I can't say most, but some of the standout feats they pulled from were just from the cinematics, and I feel like things have kind of been changed from that point anyway. Like the Doomfist Gauntlet feat. That's like the first cinematic, again, to my knowledge. And, like, the character designs weren't even, you know, finalized by that point. Who's to say that Doomfist Gauntlet and its powers, its capabilities, that they were finalized by that point? I don't know. So, while I do agree that Widowmaker... Like, I still felt the fight was pretty one-sided, you know? I don't necessarily blame Widowmaker for that. I think it's partly just the fact that she hasn't been a thing for very long, and so she hasn't really had the chance to build up that kind of repertoire. I don't know. But, yeah. So I'm not disappointed to have seen her. But it's one of those things where it's like, you know, if we'd waited, maybe down the line she would have gotten more stuff that would have made her, you know, like a more fitting adversary, but whatever. As for the next time, Captain Marvel versus Shazam, I don't really know either of them. I haven't seen the Captain Marvel movie yet. I want to, but I don't have anyone in my life currently with whom I see movies, and I don't like to drive, so that's cool. But I'll see it someday, hopefully on Netflix. And Shazam, I don't really know anything about him. So, I don't know, like, I guess, you know, it'll be cool to see probably. I like superheroes, but I just can't make any predictions at this point in time. So let me know what you guys thought about this death battle in the comments below, whether you liked it, whether you disliked it, what you thought about this or that, etc., so on and so forth. And let me know what you think about this next one coming up, Captain Marvel versus Shazam. You know, let me know what you think I should know, I guess, in the comments and that kind of thing. Thoughts, feelings, bleh. How was your day going? That sort of thing. And with that, we're calling it here. Cue outro, go!